Okay, so I guess I am on. Hi everyone, virtually again. I can kind of imagine that you guys here. And so hi. I'm trying to see in the chat here, but since I'm going to do live coding, and it's always scare me off when I do live coding, so I wouldn't see the chat and would not get myself panicked, even though I'm already start panicking. Anyway, so let's start. Yep. So this is our workshop or talk or whatsoever. So the agenda here, we go a little bit of talking about the landing page, why we want to use Nuxt, just in case anyone not convinced why we need a landing page building with Nuxt. And then we go ahead into the coding. So bear with me just a moment because Daniel told me that I should talk about something and slide instead of jumping right into the coding. So yeah, here I am. So let's talk about static landing pages. So normally this is like a marketing page, websites. Not every time we have to develop an applications, like enterprise applications. We still have marketing page. We still have landing page. We still have any kind of page for any content on the web. Because what users see, what users get. So it's important. And when we develop the landing page, people will start thinking, okay, it's a little bit overkill if we're using like normal web applications, like because it's simply HTML, CSS, very limited, or even there's no JavaScript at all. Mostly JavaScript will be for animations, for a little bit of scrolling, detecting here and there, analytics, or so on, or perform some actions. But mostly it has to be in very straightforward one single page that doing HTML with a lot of HTML, CSS inside, with content already rendered, is static, and it's so that the browser can load it fast and immediately, and so to keep the user engaged. That's when we talk about performance, and when we talk about on this pre-render, and we talk about the time to first buy and so on. And that is when we talk about Jamstack and all this concept for static site. It's actually also the static site, meaning it's for very good for landing page. Okay, so why Nuxt? Well, everyone knows Nuxt, right? I bet everyone here is already used Nuxt some way. If you don't, try it because Nuxt is awesome. Well, Nuxt.js is the server-side rendering framework, but it's more than just a server-side rendering framework. It's like a progressive framework building on top of Vue, which you can write a single code base using Vue.js in the back, and then you can actually build it into different type of application, either server-side rendering, which means it rendering the server and it's served to the client very dynamically, or it's the static site generator, which means that everything is static, all the content is static, still server-side rendering, but it doesn't have any. This is kind of like a type landing page, and the last one is the normal single page web applications. What we can build with normal Vue, and single page web application meaning everything rendered completely on the client side. There's no pre-render, and when you do inspect, you only see probably will see the placeholder for the Vue application or for React or anything, and then only after they load the application, then all the page start to be rendered inside. We start to see things. Okay, so Nuxt.js is very cool because it's very smart in the build process. It have a very good optimizations mechanism behind the scene to combine the template, the contents, and then deploys to static site. Not only that, it's actually help the separate between the static HTML for faster serving on the client side. And then also, in addition, any extra client APIs call, for example, you need to query some kind of product, some kind of detail that you cannot query before, it will have the payload file separately to take care of this. So it maintains the static site in addition to provide the kind of dynamic functionality to your website. So to summarize, why Nuxt? It's because optimize your performance. Right now, Nuxt 3 is built on top of Vite. It's always hard for me to know whether it's Vite or Vite. So I always try to remember that it's actually named Vite. So yeah, so faster building time with Vite. I totally love Vite, and so far I'm using Vite everywhere right now. It is super, super fast. Performance with composition API. Now Nuxt.js is building on top of Vue 3 with composition API. So things will be more flat, more performant, more readable. Of course, because Vue 3 come with a very small bundle size, so Nuxt.js inherit that benefit. And in addition, the team is doing amazing jobs to try to make it smaller and smaller and more optimizations. And it's built on top of TypeScript, which is much better, because TypeScript support out of the box is important nowadays. I work with TypeScript, and it's helped a lot in complex applications. So if you haven't tried TypeScript, it's super recommended to try it now, because it's only very useful in at work. Okay, so the quick comparison between the vanilla approach, which is the normal landing page that usually we use by, I don't know, WordPress, or just writing a normal HTML file, compared to using Nuxt. Well, using Nuxt have a lot of benefits. One of them is that if you're using the normal, like writing everything, a landing page, one page with HTML, CSS together, you won't be able to reuse it. You won't be able to maintain it. Read the code, it will be really hard. And how you want to handle localizations, CSS handling, if you want to change the styling, it will be not that trivial. When you're using Nuxt, you get all the benefits about optimization, performance optimization. In addition, you also going to write the component, reuse the same component. You write some component that you can reuse for other landing page. You can make your landing page projects become like a boilerplate for any other client if they want to. If you have other clients other than one client to use the landing page, just need to change the look and style a bit, and then it will match their standard. It's organized, and it have a lot of modules that come with it. Well, a lot of them haven't compatible with Nuxt.js yet, but it's on the way. Especially SEO, Tailwind CSS. If you're using Tailwind CSS, it's come out the box also. Have all smart crawling, so you don't have to implement smart crawling in the normal landing page yourself using JavaScript. Nuxt do that for you, and it doesn't affect the performance of the applications, the landing page on the client side at all. And you also can separate the content, so you can do localizations and any other things in addition to make sure that your content is dynamic enough. Okay, convinced? I hope so. So let's start with doing the actual code by building the landing page. But before that, this is how we're going to build. This is the sample of the landing page website that we're going to work today in this workshop. So you can see here's a very simple landing page. I hope I have enough time to do everything. Anyway, so our goals for the workshop today, we're going to set up a new tree project. We're going to add Tailwind CSS in it. We're going to break down the landing page that you saw into components and write the components, and then build it, combine them together and make it to the page. And then after that, we're going to inject the static data, like on the contents, on the text, and so on into the application. And then we can view, and if we have time, we're going to deploy it. Okay. Oh, no, sorry. And to get started, I will not do this on live coding because I saw so many people do it before, and internet connections is one of the things will kill the whole live coding. So if you want to fork the project, it's already have the boilerplate, go to GitHub, use Vue.js for the project LP. This is where the boilerplate of the project is there. You can just clone it or fork it. And or if you want to start from scratch, go to Nuxt.js.com, or just go to nps Nuxt init and provide your landing page project name. And then you can add Tailwind CSS, Post CSS, Tailwind CSS typography, auto fixer, and so on. This will install anything that needs for Tailwind CSS. I really hope that we have the module for Tailwind CSS for Nuxt.js compatible very soon, because just thinking about adding these Tailwind CSS typography autofixer is a lot. And in Nuxt config file, please just add these 4 sections: post CSS, plugin, Tailwind CSS, and autofixer, to make sure that Nuxt know that it's going to use post CSS with these plugins. So, and to initialize the Tailwind CSS, we can use a very simple command, say npx Tailwind CSS init, and it would auto-generate the config file for Tailwind CSS. It auto-generate, or probably auto-generate the post CSS and initialize whatever we need for Tailwind. So let's take a look on our code. So this is our code example for today. So here I have in the assets, I have one file, main.js, which I only declare the Tailwind that I'm going to use this Tailwind library, the package inside my application, so base component utilities. And then in order to use this, I need to import it in the app, which means I go head to the app.vue, and then in the script setup, I just import this file. This is to make sure that it will be available in development time. If you can also add it in the Nuxt config, but just to be sure, if you add in the config, it may not reload. It may kill the hard reload. And in the Nuxt config, you can see we have the plugin, we have Tailwind CSS auto prefixer. And let's take a look in the Tailwind config file. Okay, let's just move it a bit here. Okay, so in the Tailwind config file, it's auto-generate with kind of all this. All of these we are defining afterwards, but when it generates content, themes, and variant and plugins. So we add the plugin for typography, for fonts if we want to, and for screen for supporting, say, mobile support, responsive support. Content is whatever file we want Tailwind CSS to actually look into when we build it, and only compile whatever class or styling that we use in this file. This is to make sure that Tailwind will not bundle together with application on of Tailwind, but only whatever you want, you use it. So like you take what you, so that you build what you use. That's the nice thing about Tailwinds, or else you will end up with a lot of unused CSS, and you like it's not shakeable, and obviously it's not good for performance, right? So for color extend is where you extend the more about the theming of the app. So it's come with a bunch of default palette and styling, so you can actually expand it, extend it, or replace, override it. For example, here I override the box shadow with some things for input, for testimonial and so on. And the container, I add some styling like central and padding and so on. Not that interesting. Okay, so let's go to our main entrance to the app. So you can see here, when I start the project, when you start building the project from the command line, then you will have this page immediately. And how it look, it's just a quick setup and a Nuxt welcome. Nuxt welcome is a component that provided by Nuxt itself, so you can choose not to use it, just delete it. And yep, I did it. It come together, but you can see here in the component we don't have anything. Just right now we don't have anything. Everything is very flat. That's a nice thing about Nuxt 3, that everything is super flat. So I don't have to open the folder. I don't have another folder just to get to my code. Cool. So now when I have here, I need to initialize my page dynamically, right? So here I can use Nuxt page instead of Nuxt welcome, and it will load for me my landing page. Where's it come from? It comes from pages folder. When you have a folder called pages, Nuxt compiler Nuxt engine will already know where to map the page to Nuxt page and create the routing and then accordingly. So in here in page, if you want to have the page in home page, you can do index.view, and then it will render right here. If you want to have, let's say, a about page, just write about.view, and then it will automatically create the route about page. So here is, I just write a very simple div saying, okay, this is my landing page. That's it. Okay. And what else? That's it, I think. Now let's go back to our talk and see what the next thing we need to do. So now we need to build the app. Before, usually when someone starts building the app, we like to build from bottom up, like we would like to play around, right? I would say, let's stop a moment and break the page into components. And then you can actually start from the smaller component up. And this is much easier because then you can see what you do. Okay, so in this page, I split it into, let's say, a header, because a landing page only has to have a header. And then they have a main sections where you can render any information inside the whole contents for the user to look. And of course, it has to have a kind of a footer. But this web application have a very long footer, so a very long page. For example, here, this is how it looks already in production. So we have here the footer, so I didn't put it in here. Anyway, so in the header, let's take the headers for one moment. So in the header, we have a logo, a menu bars, that a menu bar that have navigation links that can link to different section or different page of the same website. And some actions for calling action, normally it will be sign up, sign in, or I don't know, buy in or something, or add to cart or something. So let's build this header, shall we? Okay, so in order to build a header, we create a header called, we call it landing page header. So I say L header to view. Okay, and I just create a template. And this is the landing page. Oh, thank you. Let's say I would want to use a header because it's always good to have a headers native HTML instead of using just a div. And here, wow, it actually helped me complete the whole code for me. So in here, I write the header with the div, and inside the div, I have a row. I can just delete the row here. I don't need them. And let's just put it together. And also, I don't need this one. And then let's just put it together. So I have the source code here. And nope, this doesn't look that good. Let's just head it to this page and steal Vue School website link image address, and then we can put it right here. Okay, great. And you can see here that I put this is so long, and I put it here. And don't forget to put alt tabs because it's good for accessibility. So let's put it here. Vue School trailer demo. Yes, a logo. Okay, cool. So here we have the anchor link, and then in the anchor link we have an image that acts like icons. And if we save that, we wouldn't save it over here because we need to put it inside our app. So let's just go here and put it inside our app. L header. Seriously, why I have the one? And then I'll just put it over here. And let's see if it works. Refresh. It's kind of blank, is it? Because it is image that is white, I think. Yeah, it's the white image. Okay, so now the next step, let's add some background to it. So for Tailwind CSS, the nice things about adding background Tailwind CSS that you can use the same the background the colors that from the palette and using the functions in the CSS file to actually attach the style to a class styling. So here, if I can go to asset main CSS, then I can do a layer base. This is for Tailwind 3.0. And then you can see in the body, I have apply. And then I put the class name, the Tailwind CSS class name, which stands for background primary 500. where do I get the background framework? Normally it's come from either it comes from Tailwind is by default it is existing in the palette, or I can come here and I define in the color here. What's the primary? Okay. So to start with the primary, let's get the color palette from the website that we was using, this website. So for that, I'm going to my color generate, and I already generate the color by uploading the image. Let's upload it again for just for the sake of it. And then it will generate for me the palette color from this website. And I want to use the Shavin blue. So either I just copy whatever inside here, or I can copy on code. And then I'm go back to this one and I write primary. I define the color palette is primary, and then I passed all the colors I got. And then I have 500, meaning this is a subset of the primary. So let's save, and then I also save it here. Voila, we have it. So now we have the Vue school pretty big and a landing page with the theme color. Okay, so what next? Now we need to have we saw that we need to have a what you call a logo on the left, a menu items in the middle, and some actions on the corner. For that, we're using flaps, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. So now we have one column, which is the logo. Let's define the next column, which is for the nav bar, which is indicate for the navigation bar, which including all the menu items. So here I'm using a nav bar, okay, navigation. And here, because it's actually a list of links, so I will use an UL, and I'm using the LI for order list, and I'm going to right here. Now you can write one by one of the menu actions, but I usually don't recommend write one by one unless you know for sure that it will never change. The better ways to do that is actually go to create your array data with the menu items that you want to render here, so that you don't have to copy and duplicate code. Okay, so let's go here, and then I need to do line equal ts and setup. Okay, so now I'm just doing like this. I want to do menu items, I think. Then do, here you go. Oh, here you go. It already auto-generate for me. So I just need to change it to label, I think, because I don't like text. So here and here, and then I want to change also this one to URL instead of ref. Okay, and let's change the context to features because I want to use features instead of context. And here you go. Okay, so now we have the menu items. We're going to map this one inside here using a V4. We're going to put the menu item here, and we're going to do menu item index. Index in menu items. Okay, now of course we need to put a key for that. So let's say we can put an index, and that should be good enough. And let's put here, we want to do an A. Okay, and we can have put an A, put with the label in here. Okay, and we put a URL in here, and we put a label over here. So now it will generate, it will render the correct label. You can see home, about, and feature. But this is not organized because we want it to be in one line and it has to be centered, right? But one moment. So now we need one more thing, the call actions button on the left corner of the right side. So basically we have 3 columns. So we need to go back and do another column with wrap by the div, right? Okay. And then we do over here a button. Okay, we can do something like this, a button. a login button or sign up. I think sign up. I would want to go to Vue School instead. Vue School. And you have a view. Okay, so now you have a button right here. And because it's still not a really action, like it doesn't perform any action on the page, but it actually linked to another website. So I'm still using the a rep instead of button. And in general, if you have a button that going to do something, to take some actions, to add some, do some interactions, not linking, then you should use button instead of a, because just for accessibility also. Okay, and okay, so now we need to do this little bit of styling. So for that, we're using Tailwind CSS magic. We need to do a bit of flex in order to make everyone on the same line. Okay, now everyone the same line. And now we want it to separate in three sections, one to the right, one to the left, and one in the middle. So for that, we use justify class, justify center. Sorry, not justify center, justify between. Okay, and then we also, and then you can see over here that it's already the whole page is already in flex. Okay, this is so small. Right. Okay, the banner is over here, so you can see that. Say justify between is the class provided Tailwind CSS, have space between, display flex, container, and so on. Okay, now I want to make this logo smaller. So let's head it to here and add a bit of width. And width will be about, say 100, 160 should be a good number. Cool. Now we can see the home, about, and features and not really aligned. So let's just do a bit of alignment by using flex again. Let's flex everything and flex and so on. And it should look okay. Now it should look pretty much okay. But you want to have some kind of like a space between them. So let's do a little bit of padding. And I would say P2, I guess. I hope I'm still, okay, now I'm still remember correctly. Anyway, so now you can see that each of them will already have a little bit of padding in the middle, so on. Here, yeah. And now you want to make, you can see that here, one of them is in the middle, these are a little bit on the left, on the top, it's really not aligned to the middle and it's not so nice. So here we're using another class called item center, which means it will take this and put it aligned to the middle. Okay, now everything is middle. It doesn't look just like what we saw right here. So for that, I will go here and I just steal the class name because I'm too lazy for that. So let's go to here and go to the class name, and we can add some class names right here. And let's just remove something that we don't see that is applied. So we can have the text space we don't need, text that we don't need. Cover, I don't know, cover I never we can leave the rest, I guess. Okay, cool. What did I did? Oh, wait, I think I did something wrong. Let's just do it again. What happened? Because I'm in responsive mode. Okay. Nope. Let's put it a bit further up like this. Okay, so now you can see the page because I'm in responsive mode. So obviously the page will become like this. Okay. Yep. So that is how it kind of look like right here. Why this one look weird to me? Okay, because I have some kind of container, have some sort of painting right here. No problem. So now you can also take all of this and compute your own class name by create types right here. Like I'm going to do it here and style. I don't think I need to set up or something. Just for styling the scope, and then just do like this. Hopefully it works. Not guaranteed. Should work. And we're going to do like a button. No, menu item. Okay, and then we just do apply. Nope, we're going to use the apply. We're going to apply the MX Flex here to on up this up to here. Let's see. And then the text space wouldn't be here. I think we don't need the text space. We don't need the text dark. Let's see if it works. Okay, now we need to change it to menu item. Menu item. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Okay, let's check. Then we go in here and we can see that yeah, it's have the menu item and it's have on the side that we want it to have. It is become the menu item. That's how we compute class in Tailwind, which is pretty sweet. Okay, good. Now just leave this one for one moment and move on to the next one. Okay, we need to have a text wide because the text is a little bit wide. So let's do it this. Awesome. And then we have also, we want to have a button. You can see we want the button to be a little bit different from the button we have. Let's go here and steal the text right here. And let's just go here and do a little bit of text right here. Okay. So we have a logo called, we have a class called login button, which we haven't decided what we're going to do with it. So we're going to take this. Okay, and we're going to implement the style. For same thing, we're going to do apply. And we're going to put on of the style, I think this, probably also this and this. Let's try. And put on a business over here. Maximum, it wouldn't work for me, but let's see. No. Oh, wait, does it? Oh, so I need to have a text Y instead of text piece. Okay, here you go. But it doesn't have the, interesting. Okay, so now we have a button color. What is it? Sign up. Okay, so now we have a sign up button. I don't know why it doesn't look like this. I take the wrong class. I take the wrong class. Okay, so here we have the class name. Let's just put it aside one moment and we still have the class name. If the font is not good enough, just let me know so I will increase the font size for you. So we don't need this button anymore. We can have this one already. We need the font medium. We have the text is white. Over opacity, we need to have a round and we need the capacity. It's pretty easy to read with Tailwind. So we have font, text duration, all of this. So now we get this and we put it over here. And let's see, in our duration, I can put it there. I don't mind. No, I don't want the text. So I'll just don't want any of the animation for now. Okay. Let's see if it works. Yeah, now it should work. And just bear with me the whole things with the responsiveness here because we don't have responsiveness yet. And here you can see the button is signed up and it's already with styling. Okay, cool. So now we kind of have, and why is our, okay, so now we have this kind of styling as a meta like this. Good. Now going back here, and we can move to the next one, which is the main one here. So for the main one, we have landing page, or we have a hero, which is the hero component. So the hero components will contain a headline, a description, some sort of actions. It can be also an action. It can be a link. most likely will be a link because it's like a sign up, like a schedule a meeting somewhere that it will lead you to another page. So it's better to be it's okay to assume that it's a link. And we have a banner, which is an image. So let's start with that. Let's view the hero component next. So here we're going to create a component called L hero, and have good. Now let's just do a template. Where's template view? Okay, and we're going to have a page which is, we need to have one and heading. No, let's just wrap it with the sections because it's a hero, but it's still a section. So we're going to have, let's say, never mind. Let's say a class, which is container. Okay, container. And then we're going to have a H1 because hero only be the focus, the first focus where the user will see things. So it has to be the highest hidden. Yeah. So heading one, and now we can put it here. Okay, some blah blah blah. Blah. Okay, I don't know. And then we're going to use. We need to have description. So description can be a paragraph, or can be a lower heading. For the sake of it, let's put it a paragraph, and we say blah, 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 blah. Okay, awesome. And now next question, we're going to have an actions, which is another actions. It will be kind of safe to assume that it is going to be going to do something, and it's going to be a link, an anchor link. So let's say sign up. Okay. So this is a basic one, and we need another one for our image, which usually I tend to do the image on the top, but recently someone told me it's better to do the image in the bottom. So let's just try to do the image in the bottom. NRC equal, I don't know, just like some random pictures, I guess. Let's just take the random pictures from here. Oh no, what? Copy an address, and then we're going to do the images right here, and here you go. So now we have the image here, and we're going back to here, and here you go. And then we're going to, we need to include this one in our app. So let's go to our app page. And, oh, no, we don't need to go to app page, sorry. Go to index, and then replace this part with our L hero. And here, why hero one? That's so weird. And we do script setup again. So we don't need this part. And let's try. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Okay. And now let's see if it works. Is it? Okay. Yeah, I think so. Let's save it. Yep, now you can see have blah, 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 sign up. And CSS reset all the styling. So now we need to set up the styling. So let the styling to be class, say font large, okay? And extra large, I think. It may be text. Yeah, so let's say 3 extra. Okay, cool. And now we want this to be also in the middle, so flex. Hey, no, sorry. Justify center. Am I in the center, or maybe I'm in? Probably. Let's see, I'm in here and I'm the center, the text. Okay, we also do a little bit of text center. Okay, so we have the text, we have everything in the center, and we have the button. Of course, the button of the sign up, we still need to have some styling. So let's do a bit of styling for that. Just move it one for now. And the better way, it come here, and we're going to copy it from here. Yeah, because I don't want to deal with CSS right now. Anyway, so let's go to the sign up, and we're going to put the style in here just to for you to understand. We also put this here when that we're doing the flex. We have inside of the button is the inline flex, and we have the item center, meaning the text will be aligned to the center, any child inside. And we have the round, which means make the round corner, the white background, text center. We don't need text space because we don't have. Medium text dark also we don't have. We also don't need on the transition, so we just remove all the transition, right? And hover, I don't need hover. I don't want hover. Also don't need for transition. So let's just, oh, here you go. And now this is pretty big. I must say I would just release it a bit to before. Am I the right one? No. So it's by2 and bx6. bx by, yeah, okay, so I'm correct. And let's also add some margin from top, margin 4, I guess. Okay, got margin bottom, so let's just do like this, a bit more. Okay, and now you also have everything pretty much. We need to have a text Y because our background is not that easy. Oh, and so I guess I cannot do the text Y and the text here, which is the text Y over here, and also the text Y in here. Okay, cool. So now we have the website, we have and we have also the website and the whole thing's here. And this is already done with just 2 components, and that's one thing. And let's go, what next do we have in the banner? So cool. Now we go into the next one, which we're going to have a sections where we're doing the list of products or list of features. Usually landing page will have a first section where it tell you about what the catchy phrase about the company, and then the actions, and then the next section will be about, okay, what products do we offer, what service do we offer. So this is the section where we do the offer, and this section will have a heading with a label, with the label, with the components, the label, the small label, the header, which saying that what is the section header about, and the small description bottom. And we also have feature card, which each features have an icon, a component, a title, a description, and an action link that user will click on it and it will do something, or to move to some place. So let's view the section first, okay? The section, which means let's view we call it feature section, okay? So can call feature container. Feature container. So we go feature container, okay. And I'll go view. And then what we're going to do here, we're going to write only we're going to write, let's say, a label, a small label. This is probably H2 and a main header. I'm sorry, H3, H2 and a description. But you saw that the order is reversed. But for me, I would not care about the order. I would just write like this. I would write the H2 first always, and features and feature sections. Okay, and then I'm doing H3, which I'm saying label tag. And then I'm going to do a description, which also a P description. And so on. I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to have a sections, which will be a list of item, a list of features. So I'm going to have a UL, and I'll leave it empty for now because it's going to be a class name. Say this is a features list, okay? Good. Now, for this, we're going to put these pictures inside our pages here. also, and then we're going to do L features container. I don't know why they only have to do one. Okay, import and L feature container. Okay. What? Oh, okay. Why is Vue? Okay. Now let's say we have a feature section right here. Oh, cool. So now we let you go over here and we're going to do class equal container just to make sure that we have all the container, and we do a bit of top margin Y. I think Y4. Okay. And then we're going to do margin 4. Oh, payment. Okay. And so on. Yes, Cookie. And go on. We have this part, and we also, okay, now we need to go and build a feature. So let's go and have a component called else features and Vue. Okay. And then we're going to put the features right here, which is called default. And we don't need all of this, so we can just we can just keep it like this just for the sake of it. Just change to the setup. Doing okay? And just a moment, I want to see if everyone doing okay, or how I'm doing with the stream, just to see. Okay. Okay, so I hope everyone is still right there coding with me. I'm going back to my coding right now. Okay, so I'm going to build a feature. So which means we have the icon, component, okay. So icon, components, description, and action link. So we're going to have an icon, which is supposed to create an image, I guess. And NRC. Yeah, you can hear my son is right there. And then we have a title, which is also probably a H4, H3. Okay. And I'm going to do a H3. This is the feature name. And I'm going to do a description. So a P, which is feature description. And then lastly, a ref, which is ref. Do like this and say it's the feature, it's the learn more. Okay, so now the photo will be some random photo, I guess. Anyway, so we have that pictures right here, but we need to get this have to be dynamically because we want to reuse this picture somewhere else. So we're going to receive props from outside of this one, right? So we're going to define const props. And I don't remember how I'm using define prop. Thank you. I'm still new to Vue 3. So, yep, it's supposed to do something about this. It's complete for me. Awesome. I love Copilot. It's just complete for me. Okay. So yeah. And so anyway, so you see we have a props. I hope it works. Let's just see. Okay, so let's change it to here and let's just have it. And over here, title. Yeah. I mean, if I can find it over here, so it should be already in description. And now we're going to do a link. Should have a link label, I think. Should be a link text. Okay. And now we do something like this. Okay. I'm just get so much. I have to switch between React and Vue all the time. So it's always sometimes I found myself writing React code and Vue code, and it doesn't work, and I have no idea why. So yeah, you know how I feel. Now you know how I feel. Oh, you will know how I feel. Okay. So here we got the link, a description, and title, and it's look fine. Now let's go back to our feature container and trying to use it, which is here. We're going to use script setup. And nope, not defined. Well, I'm going to do script, and then I'm going to import features from component features. And now I'm going to use an li, and I'm going to write a feature. Let's say I need to pass an RC, right? So I'm going to pass the RC. Let's just copy the RCs from our hero for 1 second, just for the fun of it. And let's go back here and then put it over here, RC. And what else? Of course, need to close it. And then what else? Oh, cool. Are you ready? Save it. It's working. It's working. It's working. I think it's not working. It's not working. Why is not working? Because I have an error here. Of course, it has to be not working. If it goes smoothly all the way, I will be so surprised. And yes, I do make a mistake of class name. I do. Okay, what? Undefined with map. What? Oh, do I need to do import component define prop maybe?
Hey, Maya.
Import. Yes.
You're doing a great job actually, and people are sharing out for you in the chat. But actually, if we can wrap it up, because we have still questions as well. In the two more minutes, that will be great.
Okay, sure.
2 minutes is good enough.
2 minutes is good. I just want to get this one done, and then I'm going to connect the data so people can know how to connect the data.
All right.
Okay. I thought I would have time, but okay. Okay, so here Vue. Hopefully it works. It works. Anyway, it doesn't work, and I have no idea why it doesn't work. Let's try. Is someone out there is know how to do it? Oh, you mean I need to actually? You sure? Props like this. Like this. You know what? Let's Google it. I don't remember. That's the magic of live coding. I don't remember. And okay, and then I'm going to go here and search for define props. And this is define prop. Come here. Oh, yes, I do need to do that. Okay. Up. No, why? And I go have to have props, and I get set up, and I'm going to refresh. And why my page is not on again? I had zero idea.
Wow.
Oops.
Yeah, such a problem, right?
Yeah, it's always like that, like live coding problem.
No,
Anyway, so let's just. Sorry.
I think you're very close to the finish the whole exercise. I think people can pick up the rest of the things, so we can save a little bit some time to ask a couple of questions people asked you in the chat. Do you mind doing that? Yeah. So, but you did a fantastic job. I was following all the chats, and people are sharing and hyping for what you're doing, and they love the way you are entertaining them as you teach something. So thank you for that. So.
Yes. You're welcome. Well, I guess
so,
I'll wait one moment. Just give me one second. I cannot leave it not working. 1 second.
Okay.
In link text. Now it should work. If it doesn't work, I'll kill myself. Okay, I'll kill myself.
All right. Shall we ask some questions? All right, it's questions from the community. You did a great job. Thank you very much for this session. I enjoyed too much, but that's it's time for the rest of the hackathon like live coding, but you did great. Thank you very much for that. So shall we start with some, um, small questions that can be answered easily for you, hopefully. So the first one is, what's your favorite feature of Nuxt 3?
Oh, wow. Honestly, it's the hardest question because I haven't tried. This is actually the second time I try Nuxt 3 since
Wow.
it's released. Oh my god, I just admitted.
No, you did great. It seems to be,
um,
very experienced person writing Nuxt 3 instead of, just the second time,
so
as you said.
so
But
I would say the point my favorite features up until the point I try it out right now is that I really like the fact that now I can write Nuxt page, Nuxt
Mhm.
welcome, and I don't have to do any other things to that.
All right. Yeah, that's sounds great. So yeah, this comes to the second question. What's the advantage of creating a landing page in Nuxt instead of, using the normal HTML and CSS?
Sorry, what again?
So why would someone create a static landing page with Nuxt instead of just writing it with HTML and CSS and normal, primitives, I would say.
Well, I said, if you follow my slide, I did say that it's because you hard coding, great. You can hard coding everything if you have time, if you have efforts, and if you don't mind scrolling up and down, writing everything in HTML, CSS, go ahead.
Mhm.
There's no better or worse in this case, but the one advantage you can do with Nuxt is that Nuxt take care of everything else for you, and you don't have to deal with one day someone asks you to change a text in your very long HTML file or hard coding and ask you, hey, can you go to let's say sections number 10 and change the text to with an S in the end because
Mhm.
it's the mixed communication or mixed like dictation.
Mhm.
How you going to scroll it? You have to
So it's
scroll
it's
all
kind
up
of,
and down. Yeah,
organizing and a composition
yeah.
of your
And
application instead of
it's
making
also
it
it's
in
like
one file.
yeah, it's also reusable because let's say you find
Yeah.
yourself a lot of time you have to reuse the same code over and over the time, like a car, a picture
Mhm.
car, an image car, all of this you can duplicate. But then if you make a mistake in one card, then you make the mistake. Then you have to fix every single line of that instead of what fixing in one place. So
All right.
just
Yeah,
go
it
ahead
sounds
and
great. Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, a question that we usually ask for Vue.js developers nowadays: are you preferring to use the options or the composition API?
Well, see, I try not to. Okay, I'm disappearing from this chat right now. No. Actually, I just remind me about the several weeks ago when I saw a chat. Sorry, I saw an article, a kind of talking about composition API, very opinionated. And I shared in my Twitter, and people got a lot of debate, a lot of hit over that. That's a poll about Vue 3. But anyway, regarding composition API and option APIs, it really depends. For my side, I work very fast. Like I do uh, projects, like go up a projects very fast. And usually in the old time, I do options API. I'm very comfortable with that. But since
Mhm.
I know composition API, it's much easier for me to actually use writing a hook. Sorry, composable.
Mhm.
I'm using the term of the hook term from React again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm using composable and making it composable, and then I'm
Mhm.
going to use it in another component sharing without using the mixing.
Mhm.
And this is way better. I mean, way faster, way more organized for me. Of course,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that option APIs is not in use. It
Mhm.
also depends on the use case and depend on what kind of projects. I start something new, I automatically go to setup script and
Yeah.
composition API.
Yeah, as we can discuss, we were discussing with Ivan that it's a more for reusability, the composition API, and you use it with caution. So yeah, my next question, we have a lot of questions asked for you in the chat, but we are picking some of them. One of them is, what is the story of how and why you became a Nuxt.js ambassador?
Well, how? I will have to pin Debbie O'Brien and ask you how did I become a Nuxt ambassador here. She used to work for Nuxt, so she probably know why the most. Anyway, I like Nuxt. I talk about Nuxt. I used to work with Nuxt in my projects, my personal project. I know Nuxt in 2019, I think, and I really liked how it works in server-side rendering and everything. I did a separate talks in that. Not something like so amazing or something. It's
Mhm.
and then one day I found out about the Nuxt 2.15, 14, no 2.13. That's it
Mhm.
when Nuxt become like dramatically improve, like performance wise, very easy to use and have static site generator. And I did a
Mhm.
whole talk about that, and I really like it, so I just tweeted a lot. And so the Nuxt team saw that, and they started the ambassador program, and I did it when I was in maternity leave, so I guess that's why they think that I'm good for becoming Nuxt ambassador. In general, you just tweet about what you like and
Yeah.
what you like about Nuxt. Do a lot of shout out about Nuxt, working with Nuxt, showing how cool Nuxt is. Let's Nuxt together, and then you become a
Mhm.
Nuxt ambassador.
Yeah. Is there any benefit you get after being an ambassador? Before that, you are sharing and doing the things that you love to do. But is there any benefits after being an ambassador? Like, being, of course, the recognition, being an ambassador is a great thing. But is there any other, benefits that comes to you that you feel different after being an ambassador?
A lot. Like I get access to talk to the team, like to the core team. So we can and other Nuxt ambassador. I know more. Like I got to know a lot of more amazing people. Like Gift, like um well, my brain.
Yeah,
I'm still
fine.
having a pregnancy brain, so
Yeah.
I forgot some of them. So I got to know Danielle. I got to know also Lucy from Premise. A lot of different people from the community, from the Nux community, and I learned a lot from them. Like we have also a ambassador meeting with the core team, and we
Mhm.
have access to the new features. We know about Nuxt in advance, and we got to test out Nuxt. We got to hear about the RC and to get RFC and to give feedback from the community and share what our concern about Nuxt and what the development.
Mhm.
And the things that I got to know great people like P oh, P Pete my name.
Yeah,
uh,
that sounds
now
great.
I
Of
just
course,
some
it's, go ahead.
just sometimes that I got so used to the to Twitter name, so I kind of forgot. Okay, what the
Yeah,
new
you
name?
call
But
them by the
anyway,
handle.
yeah, and sometimes like I when I get stuck on I build also my own library. So when I get stuck in something about building the library and how make it performance, I just shout out to the core team and ask someone
Yeah.
if anyone know how to solve it, and we help each
Mhm.
other. So yeah.
Right, right, right. Of course, it's an advantage, of course, being around a lot of smart people as well in the community. With that, yeah, I would like to thank you very much for your time, for your explanation, and your vibes as well that you brought it into the conference. And I highly encourage you to check out the chat because people ask it tons of other questions, and they're waiting for you to answer them. Thank you very much, Maya, again for being a
Thank
part of
you,
this event.
and
We appreciate it.
sorry if I didn't finish that day thing, but I'm sure
No, it's,
the next speaker will do that very well. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much again. Thanks.